We interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you another episode of We Can Help with Dave and Woody, already in progress.
I think I'm
Did you
going to
just
unleash the
unleash the
fury,
beast?
the
The
fury,
beast.
the kraken.
Yeah, we're starting at 7:07 tonight.
Oh
So
gosh,
good luck figuring that one out.
40,
No, 52,
52,
right? Yeah.
52,
something
man.
like
We're
that.
smart fellows.
Oh, I got to click my OK button.
Hey,
So
you know what? Go ahead.
what?
No,
No,
go
I
ahead.
say I'm working from a temporary studios tonight.
Yeah.
See, I
How's
got
it working out?
not too well, as you know. We were futzing around for a good 10 minutes trying for me to figure out how to use this new computer. Well, it's not a new computer. It's a different computer than usual for our podcast. I'm in temporary studios because they called us because this is the end of season 7.
Yeah, we're in 712 tonight.
Right, right. And so as part of the renewal effort, they even talked to me. I asked them to build me some new studios starting in season 8. So that's why I'm in a temporary studio tonight.
Are they gonna recycle the Kamala Harris podcasting studios?
I know nothing about that, but
I think
possibly if they're
she spent
if
like $300,000 on some sort. Not to pick on Kamala or
yeah.
Kamala.
Well, hey, she had 300,000 to spend. Neither me nor you do. So,
Hey,
but
listen. Happy Christmas, Merry
yeah.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays,
Yeah. Um,
and to all our listeners out there,
every single one
one
of
of
them.
them.
I've had a
Merry
couple.
holiday.
Yeah, I've had a couple conversations with our buddy. I'm afraid to say his name because he's probably going to want some sort of royalty deal off of it.
Hmm.
Pat Kelly. Anyway,
Okay. PK, place
so
kicker.
we were talking about. Let's get on with it first of all before we get too far into that.
Yeah,
Because
we're
every time
back.
I do that, I start on something and then I say let's get on to it, and I never remember
What you were getting
what I was
onto?
talking. I am going to write something down though because we have to revisit Rye. Just remember Rye,
All right.
and we'll come back to that. Today is Boxing Day, folks. If you're not familiar
If you
with
haven't
Boxing
figured
Day,
that out,
yeah, look at Woody's backdrop there. Happy
right.
Boxing Day, and it is not an American holiday. In fact, it's become a holiday, but I think history tells us. We'll talk with Alexa in just a second because she's the end all of know all. But it's
As
the
we know.
day that the aristocrats could remember the little people and give them their scraps from their tables the day after Christmas.
It wasn't the
Um,
food; they gave him cash, right?
I think it was kind of gifts and whatever.
Okay.
Shaking back and forth over there. Quit whatever you're doing with your Knob Creek or something.
Well, it's not as I'm writing in the temporary table. I'm not
Are you on
shaking.
a card? Are you on the kids' dining table for the Christmas
No,
dinner?
no. I'm actually at a full size dining table, but the legs must need to be tightened or something on it. So I'll try to do better.
Yeah. So anyway, let's ask Alexa what she what she thinks. Alexa, what is Boxing Day?
Boxing Day is an annual holiday celebrated on December 26th in Britain, Canada, and Australia, among other countries. Although it has evolved into a recreational holiday centered on shopping, entertainment, and leisure, most historians believe the name originated from the aristocratic tradition of giving poor working-class servants cash in gift boxes in honor of Christmas.
So I think it
So
was a way.
yeah, we
Go
kind
ahead.
of still do that today with all the gift cards, don't we? We
You
just give
know, it
each other
was.
gift cards.
I don't consider myself an aristocrat, though. Do you?
No,
Do you
far
remember the?
from it.
Do you remember the little people? Get away from me. Take my scraps and move on.
Here's some cash. It's like paying off the bum on that hangs out at the corner, asking for money.
Anyway, happy
So
Boxing Day, Woody.
I
Couldn't happen
appreciate
to a
that.
finer person.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I appreciate, you too, Dave.
So, speaking of Boxing Day, did you get something in a box this week?
Yes, I did. And if I hadn't drank for the last 3 nights, I think I'm maybe I'm a little burned out on bourbon at this point in time. Do drink a lot of water today. I got to head back to the office in the morning. So I'm playing it cool tonight. But yes, thank you. I got a large tumbler, a drinking glass from Mr. Dave Theus for Christmas. So thank you
Yeah,
very much.
yeah.
So
I figured if we're gonna
You're making
partake,
all that cash on the stock market. You got to pay it out a little.
share a little bit with the little people.
Is that your Boxing Day gift to me?
Just promoting drinking, safe,
Yeah.
whatever.
I would have used it tonight, but I'm just like enough. I got to
I
back
had
off a
I
little
had
bit.
the glass that I purchased for myself, and it's a monster. I think it weighs a pound. It's a
Yeah,
monster.
it was very heavy when it came in the mail. No one knew what it was, and I forgot all about it. That you had mentioned something,
Yeah,
and so I was
you kicked it
debating
around.
opening or not. Yeah, yeah. So we threw it out in the yard to make sure it wasn't a bomb or something. And
Did you ever find a message in it?
no,
Oh,
I'll look again. I haven't re-looked since I forgot actually until you just mentioned that because I
no
was
worries.
looking through it and I'm like, well, he talked to me about a glass like 2 weeks ago, so this has got to be from Dave. So
Yeah. Oh, it's
and
good
and
fun.
then
The
you
mystery.
texted me shortly after that you texted me. So
All right. Well, I don't want to. What? How many days have you had off?
I took Tuesday, Wednesday, just three Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of this week off. Well, we had Tuesday, Wednesday off. I got to burn a few days before the end of the year, or I lose them. So I took today off. I'll probably take another one off next week. So
Sounds like my wife. So my kids, my family's sick.
no,
Yeah, the
that's a
girls.
fun time.
Sarah came home from Pennsylvania and she had a bug, and so she stayed with us for a couple of nights to make sure that we were infected.
Yes,
And then she's off to her friend's house to spread the love, the Christmas joy.
it seems to be popular because that's what I had last week, and why we opted not to do a show last week is I was very congested and my throat was
Yeah,
absolutely,
that's right.
very rusty, and I still got the snivels, but I don't feel sick anymore. So I just got to get rid of that end. So what kind of bug did she bring with her from Pennsylvania?
I don't know. She was talking about there's a new strain of COVID going around or something. Who knows? Some
Well, I didn't
monkey
have
butt.
COVID. I tested for COVID. I didn't have that.
No,
So
I don't
so
test because I believe the tests are full of COVID and they give it to you.
is that
No.
it? And then they also put a chip in you. That's how they read that chip they put in you, the
Yeah.
vaccine.
Well,
Dave.
mine come with aluminum foil and it says directions on how to make a hat. And so
Uh-huh.
usually you can put that on and then before you get tested. But anyway, yeah, I don't do the testing. But yeah, I've had the week off, which has been beneficial.
Yeah,
But
especially if
but
you're
I'm,
sick.
I'm I'm kind of fighting it off now. Usually I get a full blown sore throat, turns into a head cold, but I'm stuck in sore throat land.
Oh,
Hey,
that's
let's
terrible.
bore our listeners even more with our weather up. I mean our medical
Yeah.
updates.
Well, we could turn to the weather if you'd like. A slight mizzle in the air tonight.
Mizzle,
Yeah.
has it been cold up there?
Yes, actually 30s and 40s, but it warmed up into the 50s today. But I think it's going back down again this weekend.
We're
So
getting
my
we're getting
kids
heat.
gave me a nice new sweatshirt hoodie here I'm wearing tonight because they know I'm always cold. So I am donning that today.
I mean, you got a
But
new microphone. Looks like a new piece of equipment.
well, that's from the podcast company, right?
Oh,
Updating me,
that,
building the new studio. So they thought, let me try the new microphone tonight and see. It's a really long microphone. It's not as wide as your microphone, but it's much longer than your microphone.
and uh, did you get any Christmas presents besides the one that we talked about? Anything that stands out?
Um,
Do you get short-ended being dad? I mean, are you on the
I
short list?
don't, I don't really, Christmas is like a whole new. Well, no, actually, my daughter. Now that I think about it, my daughter gave me a Beers of the World um, case of beer. So it's
Huh.
like I haven't journeyed through it to see how many countries are in there, but I will be partaking of that in the coming weeks. And I got this hoodie and like another dress shirt, warm dress shirt, and yeah, my mom sends cash, so and then my father, I should have brought that book in here. My father sent me the book. It's apparently the history of food um, in a bad way and how we've gotten to what we eat today. And apparently, after reading it, there's nothing left you want to eat at the supermarket. So
Because of the infused poisons,
yeah,
or
well, all the everything about it. How I'm sure it gets into details of how animals are killed for their meat, and how they're raised, the awful ways they're all raised, and everything, and yes, and the chemicals and the processing and everything about it. So, looking
during
forward to that good read.
during the last week of school, I told you we had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday were half days, and they're pretty much. I think they're designed for finals, for the core courses to give finals. I don't do a final, per se.
Right. You have a
So
project or something, right?
yeah. So we watched how things are made videos.
Oh, yes.
And so the
Yes.
hot dog one is
Yeah, that's disgusting.
is brutal, man. It's almost turned me off of hot dogs, but
it it will. I I don't eat. It's hard to eat like just a generic, highly processed hot dog anymore, because you watch that vat of like 3 tons of meat slurry going around, and it comes out like it's almost like gum, right? It's elastic. It comes out. It's like, oh my god, I'm
kids
eating
were like
this.
wailing in the aisles. They're like, Mr. Stan, turn it off, please, make it stop.
I know that exact episode because I'm a big Houses Made fan, and I remember watching that, going, "Oh Lord,
Yeah, we watched butter,
that can't
bowling
be too
balls.
bad. Butter can't be too
Butter's
bad."
not bad. It's
All right,
basically an industrial churning process.
right,
Bowling balls, I thought were
yeah,
anticlimactic.
yeah. It's not much to it. It's just, well, it depends on the bowling ball, but most are just
Yeah, whatever they're
epoxy,
made of.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Uh,
have a bowling ball. I purchased one.
you
Mhm.
know, my theory on that was if you own your own shoes, your own ball, and a bag, you might be a bowler. Do you own the bag and the shoes and the ball?
No, just a bag and the ball. I don't know. Years ago, well, I made an idiot move. So years and years, probably 20, 25 years ago, my company for
Joined the
Christmas
league,
or
did you?
something. What's that?
You had a team?
No, I never got that far. No, they gave us like $25 or $50 to a sporting goods store. So I went in and I'm like, I'm just going to buy a bowling ball. And so I did. And somehow I had it in my mind that a 16-pound ball was fine for me. I can't throw that
Is one arm longer than the other one
thing.
now?
Right. So I straddle the ball, like that, and do it the old fashioned way, 2 hands down the alley into the pins. But I throw it occasionally, but yeah, it's way too much ball.
Like
So
in the yard or in the street or something? Or what do you do?
no, whenever I occasionally make it to the bowling alley, I'll bring it along like I know something. It's got my initials on it, Dave, so it makes it official. So
Okay.
that's my bowling ball. That's my Boxing Day bowling ball story.
Well, just remember the little people. That's all I can tell you.
Well, how do you
Hey,
feel about getting a gift card and or cash as a present?
you mean the thoughtlessness of it all?
Well, not so much the thoughtlessness. I get that because I suck at coming up with gifts. Right, I'm very practical, and that's not very thought provoking. Right, I'm just like, oh, he needs a pen. I'll get him a pen. Kind of whatever the case is, and cash is just. I feel like we're just handing it back and forth. It's like, here's $20. Oh, okay, I'll give you $20. Kind of thing. What did we accomplish?
Well, this year, my wife has made a confession. She told me that we can no longer shop online, whatever Black Friday or what is it,
Yeah,
Cyber Monday or
yeah,
whatever,
Cyber Monday. Yeah, yeah,
because she found all these deals and then she purchased them, and then some time went by, and then her algorithms were loaded up, and so it started pilfering. It started dumping a bunch more deals on her. And
right,
then by the time we got a little closer to Christmas, it was like, oh my God, that's just so cool. I need to get that. And so she probably ended up with extra money or being spent. We typically have a budget for Christmas because we have 5 grandkids and two,
right.
and then we have two
Regular
daughters.
regular ones. Yeah,
Yeah. So, the cash thing, I kind of say it's the gift that if you don't know what you're getting, if the guy has everything, it's kind of heartless. But I don't think I would give my wife cash. That would be probably a
No,
good
that's
idea.
like giving them an exercise machine or something.
Or a
you know?
vacuum.
Yeah. Unless she really wants a vacuum. Vacuums aren't cheap.
She'd have to write it down, though. We'd have to have a contract signed that you said you wanted a vacuum, and I have permission to get it for you.
And you need to post it somewhere and take pictures of it and have a lawyer
Yeah.
notarize it for you.
Yeah, I don't know. We got kind of a neat story this Christmas, and in light of the expenditures that I'm sure she never told me how much she spent, but I got a pretty good idea since I helped wrap.
Could you
all
fit
that
all the
crap.
presents in the car?
Well, took some. It was either me on the top of the car on the way out to the place or the bags. But I was very fortunate and blessed that I went out to the mailbox. I don't know, last week, and there was a check.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
from management.
Well, no, in my previous
Oh.
life as an advisor, I'm pretty much out of the business, but there's this thing called legacy commissions and fees. And so it's just they mailed me a check apparently in January of 24, and I moved. And so they canceled it and took it back. And then it was accompanied by a letter that said, "Look, we're trying to find you. We think we found you. Please take our money."
Right.
So I made the mistake of opening it in the kitchen. I'm like, "Honey, I got a check." And she goes, "Yeah." She's thinking it's like 60 cents, and some of those things.
Yeah,
come
something
every
like
now and
one of those. Yeah.
then. And she goes, "Is it 60 cents?" I said, No, it's a little bit more than that." And then all of a sudden, her ears perked up because she could tell my voice.
Right.
And then I was trapped. I had to tell her.
Yes, you had to tell her you couldn't spend it on bourbon. You had to spend it on legitimate food items.
$2,500.
Really?
Yeah.
Sweet. Now will there be more of those?
I retired at 19, so
Wow. What'd you get started at 16?
2019.
Oh,
Um,
not the age of 19.
there could be another round of them, but I wouldn't count on it.
Do you ever check
So-
that state account?
She's after me to do that. Apparently there's a case, what do you call it, class action suit with Visa, and they won a giant amount of money. And we were in business with a coffee shop at one time,
Oh, okay.
and apparently all we have to do is apply. We may be eligible for something, but yeah, I
Oh.
may do that.
Well, because it's state. If they could never find you, they
Yeah, I
can't
know.
keep that. They have to pay it into that state account.
I
So
think it's like taxes and property taxes, and we never paid
Like-
that stuff anyway.
yeah, I know. I mean, speaking of which, that's coming up, right? You gonna avoid it another year?
No, we pay our taxes.
Oh, you do? Okay,
Yeah.
good. It's
I don't
good to
like them,
know.
but we pay them because we,
Boxing Day, here I come. right?
yeah, we believe in the rule of law.
Okay, occasionally.
Yeah. So I wanted to go back to, we talked about food prep and hot dogs, but there was an episode, I think it was our last episode, where I was talking about rye whiskey
Mm-hmm.
and George Washington's recipe.
Recipe, yes.
And it turns out I kept saying rye whiskey, but then I kept saying that he grew the wheat. And wheat is a grain
Mm-hmm.
like corn, and rye. Rye is its own grain.
Okay.
Well, I was confusing the rye and the wheat together. And so I listened to the episode. I'm like, an idiot. It was rye. And, you don't think about rye because,
You said
the-
rye.
no, I said rye, but then I kept saying he used wheat or something. I don't know.
Oh, all right.
For-
I'm not going
for-
to listen to it again.
Well, I know
so-
our discerning listeners, we got a couple of them out there that probably go, no, it's not, because they corrected me on the Pinto, apparently.
Yes.
That was the joke, by the way, folks. The Santa
No, it
Maria.
wasn't. Dave didn't know.
It was a Pinto hatchback that
That's right. If Columbus, that's why he had a Pinto until someone rear-ended his ship.
yeah, the Santa Maria hit it and it blew up.
Yeah, boom. So there was a Pinto after that.
Is it time to quit yet?
No, we're not even close, unfortunately.
It's funny when we're not on a roll. It's like really wow.
It really drags on.
This
I keep
is
looking
hard.
down, waiting for the minute timer to flip over to the next digit.
It's not happening.
It's like when you would lie in. Did you have one of those clocks as a kid
Yes.
that
It
flipped
clicked
over?
Yeah.
Yeah, the card
the
flipped
white,
over.
the music box that had the white.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Whiteley. Yeah, it was it was pretty classic. You'd sit there and wait for it to, oh, I fell over, you know.
Or you would wake up just before the alarm would go off,
Uh,
and it would be that 1 minute before it would click over.
do you like waking up? I'm not a fan of
I like
waking up.
waking up as a rule.
No, yeah, well, it generally that starts off a good day. Do you like waking up like a minute before the alarm goes off, or when
No,
the
I
alarm
don't like
goes
that
off?
at all.
Yeah, well, I feel like I wasted a minute.
So my wife is a multi-alarm setter.
Ooh,
She
that's
sets it at
brutal.
like 5:30, 5:40, 5:50. I'm a one and done. I set
Yeah,
it
I am too.
and I just get up because
Do you get up? I mean, you sit up right away.
well, I have to wait for my blood pressure to. I can't
Catch
get
up.
too fast.
And you got to take a belt of whiskey first to get the gears turning.
Oh, no,
No, all right. All right.
no, I
But
I
I'm
get
a
up.
lie there, but I one alarm, but I lie there for about 20 minutes.
I'll go right back to sleep if I did that.
Say I won't. I don't. I'm up.
I'm pretty much up. I'm in pain when I wake up. That's a problem.
Well, we're all breaching that level of age. Yes, where waking up is slightly painful.
Yeah. Okay, great show.
Yeah, we got to the end of the show. Yeah,
Are we done yet?
we could make this. I'm just looking for a subject. Let me look through my list
Oh,
of
we talk about
odds and
Boxing
ends.
Day.
Oh, you know what we were talking about? So we've been kicking around the idea of changing the name of the show, right?
Yeah.
And I thought of a splendid name:
Well.
Free Money with Dave and Woody.
Hmm.
Imagine the
Catchy.
clicks we would get.
Catchy.
Yes.
Well, Elon's getting a lot of action with that. I don't know who's doing that. Is Elon doing it or somebody is, but he keeps saying register now and there's $10,000 in it.
That was Elon over the election.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Didn't
trying to
Soupy
get.
Sales get in trouble for that?
You brought that up on a previous show,
I know. I think
but
it
it was.
was.
I think he asked the kids to mail him $5 or something, didn't he?
I like your thinking. I did have a free money with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
The weekend help thing is kind of growing on me though now.
Oh, is it now? Now that it's got no traction.
Well, I put a couple hashtags out there on Twitter. Put
Oh, did you?
hashtag
Okay.
weekend help.
Okay.
I
gotta
did have a boardroom scenario for you. Oh crap.
That's why we write these things down.
Hmm.
You know, while you're thinking of that, I will tell you I did buy myself a Christmas present early. I had to buy it in September and it showed up mid-November. But I got a brand new welder. So I could do MIG, TIG, and stick welding with it. I can do flux core welding. I could do regular core welding.
You plug it into a wall? Is it
Well,
electric or you fire it up?
Yeah, it's electric. It's a 110 or 220.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, 110, 220, whatever it takes. 40 weight oil. So yeah, I had been using a real cheap 110 welder for a couple years just because I wanted to try it. And it was really difficult to weld with it because it didn't have a whole bunch of settings. It was really hard to dial in. And, I had no formal training or anything on how to weld. I just was kind of trying it out kind of thing. And in October, one of the companies I've been looking at, maybe we can get a sponsor for Yes Welders, they're called. And I'm going to write it down so my head's going to shake. You see it? So they did a deal. They did a Kickstarter program where instead of producing 10,000 units of a new welder and then selling them, you could buy in. And when they got to a certain level, if 4,000 people bought in at half price, you got the welder. So I did it, and we made the mark. Me and a couple thousand other people made the mark, and so they shipped me a brand new welder
At a reduced rate.
Yes, about 50% off. So instead of $800, it was $400.
And you quickly sold it on eBay.
Yeah, no, no, I didn't. I tried it out. I got it out of the box, tried it out a little bit a couple weeks ago. Having a tough time finding steel around here in Charlotte. The only place currently I found is way north of town. It's called a steel supermarket, actually, or something like that. I can't find anybody on the south side of town to buy from. I've been hunting around a lot and not having much luck.
You
So
can
one of
stand
these,
in the Walmart parking lot. Psst, hey,
yeah, you got
looking for
steel.
some steel.
Right. And it's so expensive. You can only buy limited, and it's like double the price at Home Depot and stuff because they don't
What
sell
are you talking
enough.
about? Angle iron?
Angle iron, tube
Flat.
steel, whatever, flat stock, yeah, whatever
What
I
are you
need.
looking at? What is it
Well,
predicated on?
the first project I'm going to make is a welding cart to put my new welder on.
Huh.
But yeah, so because I built my daughter a steel-legged desk before for college, where it can disassemble and reassemble quite easily and things like that. And I did that with that cheap welder, but it was awful. Yeah, it was hard to make really
Do
good
you have the
welds.
big helmet?
Yes, auto dimming helmet. I got a jacket and the gloves. One time, so up in Tennessee, and he's since passed. One of my neighbors up there, he had a bunch of. He did everything. Did welding and all that, and so he was starting to show me how to do MIG welding. And I was working out there when he's since passed, but I was working out there one day, and I was wearing shorts and a bead of that hot metal went in my shoe, and I didn't want to act like I'd let it burn its way in my shoe because I didn't want to jump back and be all like, "Oh, it hurt," when he's watching me trying to teach me how to do it. So I've learned my lesson to wear the proper attire when I weld.
Yeah,
So
there's no MIG welding. Is that what you're working on, Russian aircraft, or what are you doing?
yeah, exactly. What's funny is if you stand around and watch someone welding, you'll get sunburn from
Yeah.
the ultraviolet that comes off the weld.
Well, I
So,
always wonder. You'll see, like on YouTube, you're watching a guy like a prepper or homesteader, and he's welding something. He's got
mhm.
the eyewear on, yet I'm standing there looking at the blue ball on YouTube. I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't be watching this on YouTube. Is it?
I'm guessing the frequency can't get through the video at that same level. So, but a lot of people, because I watch a lot of shows that involve welding, and they'll put there's a camera lens for that, so you can watch the weld if welder laying down a bead. So I'll watch those shows, just try to learn a little bit about what to do and what to do. But what's nice about this welder is it knows if it's on 110, 220. I tell it what size stock I'm welding, what I'm welding with, what wire size I'm welding with, and all that. And if I'm using a gas or no gas. And it dials the settings in for you to get you 95% of the way there. And then you can play around with it a little bit to, if you're really meticulous about how your welds look. I'm not too meticulous. I just want it to work. So,
We talk about this CTE, career technical education, and you could go to a part-time welding school and get
mhm.
a second job out of this thing, making $80,000 to $120,000
Yeah,
a year.
welders are in dire need, especially really good welders. I looked at unfortunately, the community college that's closest to me, it's a few miles away. I looked into their program, but unfortunately, they're tied in with NASCAR. So it was like a year and a half program. It was like 12 grand or something like that. And it was like 4 nights a week or something. Like, no, I just want to know how to turn the thing on and use it properly. I don't need to build a roll cage for for a race car.
Who died
And there's
who recently just died in NASCAR? Somebody big.
Pearson.
Yeah.
Dave
Bobby
Pearson did.
did.
Yeah. No, David Pearson, I think, was the gentleman I
80
saw the
something.
other day. Yeah. Yep. So racing in the days when they really, I mean, they had a helmet on, but it was serving no purpose really, other than
Those old open face bells.
yeah, yeah, and all that. They were using basically the seat belts that we use today in our cars. It goes across your chest and you clicks in, and they'd wear those open faced helmets. So, basically just kept their head from banging on the roll cage. It's
They're
about
probably
the
running
only.
moonshine too at the same time. I mean, what the heck?
Yeah, yeah, that's how it all started, right?
I don't know. I was telling my
Well,
daughter that the other day.
NASCAR racing, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We ran across a trailer that was pulling a Formula One car. I don't know what team it was.
Formula One car.
Yeah, it was a Formula class. I don't know who it was, but there was
Okay.
we were on the highway and there was a big semi tractor trailer pulling a rig, and she was like, Formula One, is that like they do at Daytona? I'm like, no.
No.
And then we
I,
talked about NASCAR and explained to her that's how they were rum runners.
you sure it wasn't an Indy car you passed? Or
Well,
Formula Ford? Because Formula One, they fly their cars. They don't put them in rigs.
I may be misspoken.
Okay.
Formula, I'm thinking of the low to the ground with the wings.
Yeah.
Class, I guess, would be the
All right,
word.
there's a bunch of those, but yeah, IndyCar and Formula One are the two largest brands.
I'm sorry. What do I?
Yeah, you were stepping in my territory there, Dave.
Yeah, speaking like a real
really
amateur
don't-
over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your formula. It's 10 base.
Come on now. Yeah, it's all base 3, Dave. Formula 3000, Formula 2000.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They had wings. Anyway, so yeah. Well, great show. 7:38.
We're still 10 minutes from the end. Anything else you want to
I got
discuss?
8:52. Is it 8:52 we kill this or 7:52?
7:52.
Oh, thank God.
I know, right?
This is like my fourth period class. It's like, is this thing ever going to end? No. Oh, golly. So nothing's happening in Sigma Chi world.
He was up for what's the big award they give out every year? What's it named? Who's it named after?
Balfour?
Maybe it is the Balfour Award. They
Balfour
always ask
chapter.
me if there's anybody if you want to nominate anybody. I always ask our friend Brad. I said, you want me to nominate you this year?
That's the is that the SIG? What's that award that honorable SIG, but I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, well, it shows how we're a little mind slush right now. I'm
Oh, we
not
are.
working regularly.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm sleeping
drinking
a
more
lot.
regularly than I'm working. So yeah, my
I'm on the
mind's a little
sofa
aloof.
sleeping. So dinner. Let's talk about this real quick. We did Christmas dinner at my daughter's on Christmas Eve, I guess.
Yeah, because I said, why don't we do the
Yeah.
podcast Christmas Eve, and you started sending me picture after picture of a farm.
Yeah. So
Well, would appear to be a farm.
yeah, so they have goats and chickens and stuff. And so we
Stuff.
got to see baby goats being born. And
Ew.
so this mama goat had 3 kids.
I mean,
and one-
literally, where you were there, they were
Oh,
being
yeah.
born.
Yeah, it was
Ah,
cold.
that's-
Man. It was like
Was that like an appetizer for dinner? Yeah,
well,
come out,
we were
see the
we're in a
placenta, and then we're
charcuterie
gonna
board. We got into trying to say charcuterie. So we went out to the back. The little girl comes in, the youngest goes, "Hey, Mama's having her babies." I'm like, I'm looking at Sheila. Are you okay? She says, "No, not me, you big dummy. The goats." So we all paraded out to the back 40, and I don't know why they. I'm talking like because I watch these things on YouTube, like I'm an expert. I'm like, oh, what you need to do there?
we all do that. Yeah,
And
we're gonna need
so
some hot towels, a bowl of water, and
I'm running around like I don't know nothing about no birth and no babies. So she's out there in the corner of the pasture, about as far away from anything you can get to. She's pushing out baby goats.
Wow.
And so my son-in-law goes, I ain't worried about it. She's been a pretty good mom in the past, which translates to I don't want to do crap.
Yeah, I don't want to get my hands dirty.
Yeah, I'm leaving it alone. So the one baby that comes out, I don't know if we walked up on it right at the time when it fell out, because she couldn't get up. And
Oh.
So my daughter runs over to her, and I'm like, mess it up if you touch her. And so she picks her up, drags her back in the house, and she's standing next to the fire. I went and got the seasoning and salt and pepper shake.
And she's like, what do you got that for? I'm like, I thought
Her?
that's why you brought it in the fire.
Yeah, so she
Nothing
went
like a
back to
good baby goat for Christmas.
anyway, I guess the goat's doing okay. I texted out there and they said it's fine. But it was pretty cool. We got to see the birth of a baby goat. Actually, 3 of them actually.
Wow.
And then lo and behold, the chickens, I knew this, but they have a beautiful big live oak tree.
Did you see some chickens get born?
No, but they were roosting up in this oak tree above me. and there's probably about 20 of them because it's cold, so they're up the free range. I
Okay.
think it's basically my son-in-law don't want to do anything, so they just do whatever they want to do.
It requires money and a lot of work to put a fence up.
Well, chickens, they do what they want to do. So I suddenly dawns on me, I'm standing underneath this tree full of chickens, and I'm like, this may not be a good place to be.
No.
So I moved away from that. And none of them pooped on me, but it was kind of comical to look up there, and they were all fighting for the best limbs to sit on. So
That is kind of weird. I guess they stay away from foxes and everything up there too.
yeah, I think it's a coping mechanism from the predators, and it's warmer probably in the tree, believe it or not. I don't know.
It
keeps them
protects
out
you
of
from the
wind.
wind, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But it was kind of a bucolic evening out there. Ooh.
wow. Well, I used my word earlier, mizzle, and you.
Well, I picked up on it, but I thought it was a Yiddish
No,
word
it's
for
no.
drizzle.
It is. It does mean light rain.
Yeah.
So I got it in my word of the day today. So I was trying to find a way to squeeze it in tonight's conversation.
Well, mizzle and bucolic could be
There you go. Well,
pairing.
bucolic, I think, is fairly known.
Okay.
Right.
Fine.
That's what you get. That's what little kids get, right? When they're
That's
when
what
they're
horses
born.
get, bucolic, when they eat wet grass. Anyway, so we did that, and then Grandma, my mother-in-law, oh, look at the gift I got. This is
You get a frame. Oh, and you put your own picture in it.
no, she did this. This is from one narcissist to another, apparently. Is you
It's showing up well. Yeah. The frame isn't, but the picture is.
Yeah. So we were in Chicago this past summer for a wedding, and apparently she snapped a picture of me. Turns out it's a pretty good looking picture. So I told I go, this is for me, and she goes, yeah. And I'm like, who gives somebody a picture of themselves? So my wife looks at me and goes, my mother does, because there's apparently pictures of her all over our house.
Oh,
So
that's funny.
I said to Sheila, I said, do you want to take this to work and put it on your desk? And people walk by, who's that handsome devil? She goes, no,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Don't you love when your wife comes back with an answer so fast that it's like, do you want to? No.
She doesn't
Not
have to
even
give it any thought.
all right. No thought, no nothing. It was a definitive no from the word do you want. And
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
had that. Well, I got that kind of answer once when I said, I think I was going to this dentist and I said, I swear the dental hygienist is hitting on me. And before I could even finish that sentence, I was like, no way.
What kind of fantasy are you living in? She gets paid to make sure that you stay her client.
We could talk about it off air, but I think the signs were there. But nonetheless, I was like, I couldn't even finish the sentence before Barb's like, hell no. What are you dreaming about? So, well, she could have been an 85-year-old dental hygienist, Dave, for all you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to pick up a young thing,
Yeah, it could go the other way. It doesn't have to be some 18, 19-year-old college student. It could be
exactly, Dave. God,
a
you're
real
so sexist.
Retired cougar. Who knows?
Yeah, you're so ageist. So
I am.
Well, listen, why don't we cut this a little short tonight because it is Boxing Day. Yeah. And I got things to do, place to go, people see, and I got to figure out a way to go to work tomorrow.
The snow? You snowed in? You have to plow your way out?
Not yet. We haven't gotten any snow yet. The north side of town did a couple weeks ago, but not us down in the south.
You're part of the North Carolina?
Occasionally, it's not a regular thing every year. In fact, it's gotten less and less over the 26 years I've been here. It used to be at least twice a winter. Now it's down to maybe once every 3 years.
Global warming?
Whatever you want to choose, whatever reason you want to choose. But yes, I would attribute it to whatever warming status the Earth is in.
Okay.
So, however that's
I'm not
occurring.
going to argue with you. I think the fact that we made it back for the final episode of season seven,
yeah,
is monumental, and we're still alive. Is management saying we're still a go?
Well, I figured if they're dumping all that cash into my new studio, that they're willing to, they're going to want some advertising next season. You up for that?
I got to sell it. Do I have to do everything?
Yeah. Please.
I thought so.
All right.
All right.
I mean, I'm
let's get
second
out
on the
of here.
billing.
I'm going to send you the video as soon as we hang up because I
That'd be
screwed
nice.
that up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was late with last
That's okay. I was
episode
embarrassed.
11.
I apologize. All right, folks. You've listened to yet another incredible, and I use incredible lightly, episode of We Can Help with Dave and Woody. We apologize up front that this episode is somewhat anticlimactic, but we're sick. I'm sick, and
I'm still
groggy,
rough.
drunk.
Yeah, that too.
And listen to us on Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and Podcast Addict. And of course, please smash the subscribe button, like, and share
On YouTube.
over on YouTube. But we're picking up some subscriptions. I can't go to anyone else's house to steal their remote.
I know, that's what I do too.
They're like, "What are you doing, Dave?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't look over here."
But if that's what you're able to do, and then, by the way, you want to do Spaces tonight?
Probably not.
Yeah. Pat Kelly, we're listening. We appreciate you. He signed up for Twitter.
Don't switch over to the Spaces tonight, Pat Kelly.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it right now because we're not
Right.
going to be there.
We're not going to be there. So we'll be there maybe not next week because next week is New Year's week. So, but we'll figure that out.
We should get that in. We'll figure it
All right.
out. All right, we can't take it anymore.
Say
All
good
right.
night, Gracie.
Good night. See ya. Hold on, which one?